Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have the blank. I have a bingo. I can see stinted. What I'd like to do is find a bingo with the blank being the least helpful for my opponent. And stinted has anagrams of distent and dentist. Now, what would be best would be if the blank duplicated one of the tiles on my rack. So, do I have anything with the blank as a D or an E, I, N or T? I can't see such a play. I don't want to waste too long on this, but it would be good to have it as something other than the S. Now I have tainted. That's certainly better. Dinette. Great. That does duplicate one of the tiles on my rack. I'm going to get this down. Not sure if dinette has an anagram. Dinette 68. Not good. Far too many vowels and duplicate tiles. No scoring tiles. This is going to be tricky to sort out in one go. And also tough to score. I could play Owry, keeping DIO. Pretty ropey score. It's difficult to see any plays which use just tiles from my rack. And the advantage of such a play is that I can play it parallel to what's on the board. Now I note my D can go above EN. So what's the best I can do there? Well, probably DWEEB, D-U-I. 16 points, keeping OOIR. Well, that might be a little bit better than changing. Now, what about playing in column 5 so that I can score off the KI? Can't see a way of doing that. What about playing down onto the Y? Can't see a way of doing that. Now, is Dewey really the best I can do? I note that my D could play underneath KI. That's not great. I think I will play Dewey. It's taking out a useful spot for my opponent. It just would be so nice to play off an O as well. So what about playing through the T? Gosh. So Owry, only 7 points. Dewey, 16. I'm going to go with this. Well, that's not great. I do draw another O, but I have a scoring tile in the B. And this could have been a lot worse. The O's go quite well with the B, so I can play Boo. And I've got Robot. I've got Booty in column 3. Nowhere fantastic for the B. I could play it above the I. So I've got Oobit which sorts out the vowels a bit better than booty. It plays off one more of them. So that's 18 points. Can't see anywhere better for it. Well, I draw another O, but the rack's still okay. I've got a scoring tile in the W. And if I played Woo, the rack leave of AERS would be pretty strong. One of the best 4-tile rack leaves there is. No hotspots for my W. So Woo could play at F1, but that doesn't score enough to justify placing the W in the middle of that triple word lane. Well is not good, it's Wells. TA takes a W, but O doesn't go after EL. There may be some 8-letter bingos with these tiles. Ah, that's pretty good. I've got reavow and avower in column 1. Wrecks the rack leave, but scores quite well. I've got the over prefix. Just trying to see if I have a bingo, but I haven't. I've got oversaw. Well, I think avower is the best play through the V. 36 points. Quite good. No floaters to consider, apart from the 2-letter sets, TA and DL. Through an E, I would have Infernos. Now my F can go underneath the I of Ubit, so I could play Fon. Or Fon or Fin, keep a good rack leave. And score well. Wow, back-to-back bingos by my opponent. And he's provided a few floaters. So, do I have a bingo? Probably not through the N, because I've already got 2 of them. What about the A and the T? So I've got the non-prefix. Can't see anything through any of those floaters. But my if spot remains available. 29 points, and this is quite a good rack leave. I am leaving open column 15, but I'm behind, so I'd like to keep the board open. I draw the U and the V, which is a bad pair of tiles to have. But the rack as a whole is quite good. I have unrivets and venturis through an E. No E's available. Can't see anything through an A. Now, how to resolve this rack? I certainly would like to play off the V and the U in one go. That may be tricky. Just 27 for my opponent. Now, what I can do is play Vaunt through the A, which opens the board up. I could stop here with Vor for 10 points, but I think it's worth playing the extra 2 for 24. Horrible rack, but a play of LUR would leave a decent rack leave. I've got no scoring tile, so I don't think I'm going to score here. And my opponent is powering ahead, but he's only a bingo ahead. So the game is not lost. So where can I play LUR? Or the tiles LUR? I'm looking at the R and O of various. So I could play knurl down here for 8 points. Let me see what... Well, I could play ner. Only 8 points. Can I do better than that? Nearly lurid across here. Can't see anything down from the A. I've got 12 minutes left. Can't see anything down from KI. I'm just wondering if this is a moment to change. I just can't see anything remotely good. So I'm going to change. And the rack leave of INRS is quite good. I draw a second S. Through an O I would have Warrisons. I don't need to keep hold of both S's. Nice play by my opponent. 20 points for him. He's now 100 points ahead. The floaters are the N and T of Vaunt. Can't see anything there. So I certainly want to play off my W. And probably one of the S's. So I could play Sow down here. Only 12 points. Dismal. I'm looking to see if I can place my W on this triple letter square and play a 5 or 6 letter play, and I can't see such a play. 11 minutes on the clock. This is pretty grim. Well, I can play ways. I'd like to keep the A, but 32 points I think justifies playing it. Quite good. Through an E I would have Prisoner. Can't see anything with the N or the T, and I'm a bit vulnerable with all the bingo action happening around a Vaunt. If my opponent shuts that down, then it would be difficult to get back in. 24 points for my opponent. He leaves open the bottom of the board. Now, I've got the P for score, so I'd like to play off PR or PRO. I could play Kiri down here. What else is available? Kiri doesn't feel good because it's burning both R's and the R is bingo-y. But the whole of the top of the board is pretty tight. I could play Po, now and top. Only 15 points. This is a bingo lane, J1 across, then for EAH. Now, what I can do is par down here. 13 points. Not good, but the rack leaves pretty good. No O's in the bag. So this is quite a good 5-letter set. Just wondering if there's a way of getting it doubled. I don't think there is. But it's quite good playing off or slowing down the tiles that I'm playing to delay the end of the game. Tay also takes an S, so actually this hole at the bottom of the board is wide open for bingos, and I do have an S. Both blanks have gone. 8 minutes on my clock. Yep, I think I'll go with this. Horrible, horrible pickup. L and R. Nothing through N and T. This is just a dreadful situation to be in. Just no scoring tiles. And a whole bunch of bingo-y tiles, but no bingo. I've already changed once, but I may be changing again. I'm 80 points behind, but my opponent is on turn. 16 points. Okay, great, not a lot. Now, quite a few E's out there, and an E would really help my rack. No N's. So, I think I will change. Keep INRS. Still quite a few. Either an A or an E would really help this rack a lot. Will really go well with INRS. I draw an E. I also draw the Z, which is a good scoring tile. I don't have a bingo with this rack, but if I can score well with the Z, then that will be good. Only 12 points for my opponent. So, where can my Z score? This hole at the top of the board is absolutely out of action, and the rest of the board is really only available for bingos. Just wondering if I can get my Z on one of these triple letter squares. Certainly a 5-letter play with the Z here would score well. 7 minutes on my clock, not much. Tay takes an L. Wow, I could play Zainab down here. That can't be good. My opponent would then just so easily score off the Z. And then a bingo probably wouldn't be enough. So I want to play the Z and keep the S. Can I do that? Almost regardless of score. Well, I can with Zainab. That doesn't feel right. Trouble is I have very few short words with this rack. There's nowhere for les to play. Can't see anything coming down from KI. I have to get rid of the Z right away. It's hampering my bingo prospects. If I played Zainab, my rack leave of LRS would be awful. I can't even play... Well, I suppose Says. I could play Says, but again, or not again, but that's placing the Z right over the triple word square, so an A or an O underneath it would score very well. Nothing goes in front of TO. I've got Zines on my rack. Can't see anywhere to play that. This is just turning into a nightmare of a game. 5 minutes left. Well, there are 2 S's to come, so I could burn the S. I could play Says or Size. I'm inclined to keep the I. So Says 35 doesn't give too much away. If my opponent plays down from the Z, he'll be creating floaters for bingos. Rack leave, awful. However, no N's, only one L to come, so I'm not going to be plagued with duplicates unless I draw both R's. But this provides a very easy opportunity for my opponent to score with a premium tile, so I really don't like that. What is better? Well, what about size L? Then my opponent can place the X above the I. What about just Zell and Tail? I didn't like keeping the L with the N and the R. I and RS is a much better rack cleave. Only 16 points. But I think it's important to preserve the bingoiness of the rack cleave. Couldn't have been much worse. I draw no vowels. "14 tiles in the bag. The ing ending is not particularly useful unless I have a play ending ings. Well, my opponent has the E's, only 2 E's to come now. And he provides no floaters. 10 tiles in the bag, 3 minutes on the clock. I've got 2 S's. I can't see anywhere great for playing one of them off. Ten tiles left. Two minutes on the clock. So, what to do? Not much point. I'd like to play off a G, R, and an S. Gosh, just so hard. 1 minute left. 10 tiles in the bag. I'm going to play E-ring. It just provides floaters and sorts out some of the trouble in the rack. Well, yeah, pretty good. I have signories through the N of earring. Can't see anything else, and my opponent could easily block with a play down here. Now, does signories, which has been blocked, have any anagrams? Four tiles in the bag. I'm 110 points behind. Can't see anything through the G. So if I play off, I don't know, G and an S, not only 3 vowels to come. So where can I play off G and S? I could play sig down here. 18 points. Right. Well, hoaxes. But the 7-letter bingo lanes have gone. Nothing through the G. 30 points for my opponent. Running out of time here and the game is lost. And my opponent's got RT, so he will be going out. He's got Rut. Pass to end the game. And the final score, 317 to me, 433 to my opponent, a winning margin of 116 points to him. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first, and I got off to a fabulous start with Dinette, a whole bunch of other bingos available. My opponent plays Uke, and now this was awful. I really struggled to find a play here, and you can see from the rack leaves why it was so problematic. Not a great rack for my opponent either. He plays Heel, and this is my rack, and Ubit was my play. That looks fine. Nice bingo by my opponent. This is my rack. And I played a Vower. That looks fine. Great bingo by my opponent of Eminent. Now, did I miss something here? Wow, Franions was good. I thought about it and thought I was confusing it with Fanions, which I think is also good, but Franions was there, and that would have been an important bingo. It would have drawn me up level. Instead, I played Fawn for 29, so definitely an inferior play by me. My opponent's rack, he plays Deity, and I played Vaunt, and that looks fine. My opponent's rack, he plays Chi, and this is pretty awful. I struggled here. I think I may have changed. Yep, I did. I could have played Luna at A2. Interesting. I think that would have probably been a better play. I was behind and Luna would have opened up the top of the board. So I think Luna definitely better than changing, and IRS is quite a good rack leave. My opponent's rack, he plays Oracy. Now I played Ways, I think. Yeah, that looks fine. My opponent plays Job, and now this was my rack. And Prison was available, making a Vaunts. Maybe worth considering. But it wrecks the rack leave. What did I do? Par for 13. Yeah, I think Prison probably better. My opponent plays Fend. Another awful rack. And just the scores and rack leaves are poor. I changed. My opponent plays Alf, and now I had the Z and really struggled with this. Zins for 43. Yep, with 2 S's to come. Probably worth doing. Instead, I played Zell for 16. Yeah, Zins for 43, certainly a lot better. My opponent plays Geep. Now, nothing great on offer here, so I think Earring is fine. My opponent played Zia, blocking my bingo, I think. Yeah, no bingos here. I played Sig, and then my opponent plays Muslier. I have Hoaxers, nowhere to play it. I played Nox quite quickly because I was short on time, but my opponent could go out. So J4, Sex. Yeah, Odes and Kype, that would have been the play. So not a great game. Missed bingo in Franions was probably quite significant, and I think there are a couple of couple of suboptimal moves. Certainly missing Luna down here was significant, and I think I could have done better with the Z. But mistakes are made all the time, and one should identify them and endeavour not to repeat them. So, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.